this episode of the Cruise Diary series, we're aboard one of the most highly rated cruise ships in the world for an epic 12-night sailing. We'll be visiting the Panama Canal, one of the top destinations that any cruiser wants to go to. And from there, we'll be dropping in on Costa Rica, fast becoming the place to visit in Central America. We'll move on to one of the most visited Caribbean cruise stops that gets loads of visitors each year. We'll ask why and if it deserves to be on the list. And we're also going to be showing you right round the ship to see whether you might want to book it for yourself.
Wow, you've got powerful hands.
We're going to party, eat and drink our way around the region. This is the Ritzy Travel Guide. Welcome back, my name is Bill, and it's great to have you with us. You join us in the third and final part of our cruise aboard the Holland America Rotterdam. On this cruise, we've been sailing out of Florida, working our way around the Caribbean and Central America. In part 1, we showed you the ship in detail, what you can expect of it, and who it would suit, and why it's becoming one of the best all-rounders in cruising today. In episode 2, we took you to the beautiful Half Moon Cay. That's the private island for Holland America. We also dropped into Curacao in the southern Caribbean, famous for its bright blue liqueur. As well, we got to walk around the streets of Colombia. That's a lovely walled city with so much heritage. So far, we've been really impressed with the Rotterdam, and after this, you can go back and watch the first 2 episodes. It doesn't matter which order you see these in, and it will fill in the gaps of anything you might have missed. This is the concluding part in the series, and we've left some really fun parts for this episode.
So, have we gone orange enough? Are we going with the flow?
As ever, this is not a paid review. Nobody's told us what to say. These are entirely our own opinions. So, the order we'll do this video is Costa Rica first, then we'll take you to the Panama Canal. After that, we'll show you the best parts of the ship, and we'll end up at the Caribbean. And finally, give you our verdict on the experience with Holland America. We were really looking forward to this, as it's a vibrant and colourful stop. But before we stepped ashore, we noticed there was a Holland America brunch advertised on the daily schedule. It would be silly to miss out on that, so brunch first, then out into Costa Rica.
Well, why not have some cocktails and alcohol at 9 o'clock in the morning?
I think it's a little bit too early for cocktails, but it does look very, very empty.
Is it a little too early for cocktails?
I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Nothing is too early. Well said, nothing is too early. Well, past the cocktails, may or may not be revisiting that counter later.
No rules on board as to what time you can start consuming alcohol.
No.
Cocktail starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, there's something coming to tempt you here.
Spell. It's 9 o'clock.
Yes, I know, but look, you see. So, it is bottomless mimosas for $19. You could just sit here for 3 hours and just have mimosa after mimosa.
See, if everybody has the bottomless mimosas from 9 to 10, and the pickleball competition at 10...
Now, what, everybody's going to be zigzagging across the pickleball court. Ooh, the Caribbean cocktail.
We have literally every fruit in it.
Very, very prettily done, that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that was downed in one.
I will forego the main brunch for another one of these.
Flag down the waiter, ask for another one. I have to say, that is a really, really good chowder. It's got some crunch, it's got little biscuits, crunchy biscuits. That's one of the better seafood chowders at sea. Ah, here comes the skillet. It's a little bit like a shakshuka. It's rice and beans. Beautiful flavour, strong, robust flavours. So again, it's another good dish. We're having good dish after good dish this cruise.
So, one boozy brunch later, we zigzagged our way down the ship's ramp.
It's going to be rainforests, lakes, swamps, and all things tropical. Good morning! bit of music when you arrive somewhere gets you into the vibe.
And the musical welcome we got was a good indicator of what to expect, because Costa Rica has both a Caribbean and a Latin feel to it. The predominant cultural influence in Costa Rica comes from Spain, as it was colonized by the Spanish in the 16th century. Because this port stop was so fascinating, I'm going to be bringing out a dedicated video all about our stay in Costa Rica. But by way of a taster, here is a couple of minutes so you can get a feel for it now. Our tour guide for the day was Oscar, and he was an absolute gem. It's just a little bit of our day.
And where have we stopped, you might ask? Well, we've stopped to taste fruits, local fruits. Okay, so we stopped the car because our guide said there's an interesting local village we must come and look at. So, throw open the car doors, in we go. Ah, now you're itching to tell us about something here, I can see. You have a smile on your face.
Sometimes to cook corn.
Ah, corn.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Right.
Love villages like this. So much atmosphere. You come just a fraction off the beaten track and you see how life really is.
Let me guess.
We're gonna talk this now.
What is that?
What is that?
Paprika.
Paprika.
This is paprika. That's the one we use it. That's the one we see. We use it.
Wow,
Yeah,
you can use that as a clothes dye. How are you going to get that off your fingers now? You've now got red fingers for the rest of the week.
Probably now.
You have a problem now. Like these sort of tours where you never really know what's going to happen. It's a magical mystery tour. He just stops the car and says, I want to show you something. Perfect. We say, let's look. Cocoa plantation.
That's a good question.
There we are. There's the cocoa fruit. We have a tobacco tree. Huge, isn't it? Big, isn't it?
It's enough to make me a
few cigars.
raffle.
How idyllic is this? Would you like to live in a local village like this, where you have crystal clear water? This is your village pond. So, what's happening here?
Well, that is the real job for the banana. This kind of guy, he brings 25 bunches of banana. This 1 hour.
Here he goes again. The plantation monorail. We're entering the national park. Let me try and pronounce this one. Cahuita. I've probably got that absolutely wrong. That's as close as I think I'm going to get to it. Isn't it beautiful? Right on the beach. I'll ask the guide in a minute. How do you pronounce it?
Welcome to Cahuita.
Thank you.
Our farm. And thank you to come to Costa Rica.
Okay, we've spotted the cappuccino monkey high up in the trees. Okay, lizards. We found lizards. Sorry, that snake I was just very close to, did you say it's very poisonous?
Very poisonous, and they have some other colors. They are yellow, green, and actually that one is green.
I was quite close to that just now. If I was just bitten by that, how long until I die? How long would I have had?
Don't get more than 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
No more than that.
And how far's the hospital?
The hospital from here is where we come from. Just talking about 50 minutes, 50 clinic that you can go there, and then we help you.
So I would have had 45 minutes to get attention, and the hospital's 50 minutes away.
Right, but there are some places here that you can go there.
We're living life dangerously, aren't we? So what do you do? Do you suck it out? How do you...
Well, we not recommend that, you know. People
No?
say we don't recommend that.
Would you have sucked the venom out?
Yes, Mr. Bill, here, if we have bites by snake, try to don't take longer than 45 minutes.
I like our guide, Oscar. He's full of beans. He's full of energy. He's also got all the stories about poison.
So don't stop for coffee, don't stop for Coca-Cola.
No way.
Now he tells me all this stuff. Should have asked all these questions first, shouldn't I? You nearly needed only a single cabin on the way back. Raccoons. After the poisonous snake episode, a raccoon is very much so-so, isn't it? Yes, we're not stopping to film raccoons.
Well, our pack day continues. We're about to go on the Costa Rican canals. And the Tortuguero canals are beautiful. Known as Costa Rica's version of the Amazon, due to the diverse rainforests. And the canals are the perfect way to see it all up close. Right, there we go. First off, do we spot the howler monkeys? Here's a close-up picture of one. And these are famous for their loud howls. Spider monkey. And this is what they look like. Apparently a very rare sighting, very rare sighting. We also came across a fisherman in his dugout, making his way around the canals. He was checking up on his haul of crabs. Apparently crabs are really popular with locals to have in a seafood stew. By the end of the day, we were really ready for a drink, a local variety. So Oscar took us to his favourite haunt right by the beach, and I'd read up about a particularly potent alcoholic drink that I thought I might try.
No, don't you take that one. I don't think so. You go and get it back to the ship because she will carry you there.
Really?
I'm not going to carry, I'm going to leave him
This
there.
is the dangerous bottle, is it? Wow, look at that.
Cacique.
Cacique.
Here comes the lethal, dangerous drinks. There, look at that one. And local rum.
Really, really love. This is what I drink in the night.
Is it? This is what you're having 4 or 5 of during your soccer match.
Probably 4, or depends, maybe 5 or maybe 6.
Yeah.
Depende on penalty.
Is this the Costa Rican money?
Yes.
Look at that, how colourful is that? I don't think I've ever seen notes as colourful as that. Oscar, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic tour today.
And for me, it was a big pleasure to have you here. I hope not gonna be the last time.
We will be back.
We will be back because we absolutely love Costa Rica. I tell you what, those drinks were strong. After 2, or it might have been 3, I had to walk around the beach just to get my circulation going again. If you get a chance, do come to Costa Rica. It's so beautiful, the locals are so friendly, and what's written on this logo is very true. Pura Vida pervades the whole atmosphere. Your day, they're jolly, they're smiling, they want you to have a good time. There we are. Let me just put that bottle up for you so you can remember the saying, Pura Vida. Costa Rica is such a colourful and vibrant destination, and Oscar made it so much more enjoyable. Now, if you want to book it, I've left the link up here and down in the description. It's with Get Your Guide. It really is a great day out, and the price is very affordable. And because we have just limited time here today, I'm going to be putting together a dedicated video all about our experiences there. So remember to be subscribed to our channel so you know when that video comes out. Meantime, we got back to the ship just in time for a swim. Let's see if I get tempted by a snack. Tone, you've got pizza as well as some salads and some light desserts. Ooh, I wonder what that one is. The one with the berries in. It's a panna cotta. Right, we'll try one of those, thank you. There we are. That looked nice. We're ordering it and trying it for artistic purposes. Oh, I've been caught in the act.
Yeah.
Yes.
Surveys the place.
Yes.
And somehow,
How did you spot that from down there? You were all the way down there. How can you possibly see up the staircase and round the corner?
look,
Yes, it's a panna cotta.
it shows that I know you inside.
How on earth did you see that from over there? Your spidey sense has caught me out. Well, I can't leave it back now. I think I'm going to have to try it. How on earth was I caught out from over there? She's literally over there in the far, far, far distance. She's obviously suddenly had bionic eyes inserted since this morning. Panna cotta report. It's everything that you would want it to be. It's sugary, creamy, fruity, and guilty with a capital G. But it wouldn't be a dessert if it wasn't, would it? Yum.
Now, how much of this are we going to eat? Oh, I've been spotted again. Would you like some panna cotta in there? No?
How many desserts did you take? One. And a real answer.
No, I've only taken one. I haven't even tried it yet. One. Look, I've only had the very top skim surface of it. It's delicious, by the way. I've got something very important to tell you. It's delicious.
I do like panna cotta.
Yes, I've saved some for you. I would give that a 9 out of 10.
You want a hard one? I will give you
Well, don't
a hard
kill
Whoa, 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 whoa! What did she say? She says, "Do you want a hard
Yeah, well,
one?"
don't kill me, obviously.
Don't cry, okay?
Oh, wow, you've got powerful hands.
Of course.
Has anybody told you that before?
Oh,
I'm sure you do amazing things with your hands. Wow.
I do. Have you scheduled a minute?
No, but I'm beginning to think I should have said
That's okay.
Wow. Have my eyes popped out yet?
Not yet. On the way.
Oh, it is painful.
Oh, that's good. Yes, do the neck. That's good. You ought to try this in a minute.
Not like that.
No, thank you.
You don't want to try this in
Thank
15
you.
minutes.
I'm just on filming duty.
No.
Just to let you know, a quick note about our channel. Here at the Ritzy Travel Guide, we're now on Instagram. I know it's been a long time coming. So if you want to know what we're up to almost in real time between our YouTube videos going out, you can check and find us here on Instagram, also under the name Ritzy Travel Guide. And I've put a link in the bio and description of this video. So follow us along on Instagram. Right, let's now show you the Panama Canal, always a highlight of a cruise to that destination. And we got up at the crack of dawn, really early, to watch us sail in. Here we go, and it's one of the very few occasions the captain opens up the bow of the ship. It's normally restricted access only for the crew. And it's a magical, almost surreal atmosphere that greets you as we approach the Panama Canal. It's very calm, very quiet, beautiful morning light and colours. And even though it's very early, the decks are abuzz with passengers and anticipation. As the Panama Canal Authority strictly regulate the times of ships entering, all captains have to wait their turn and anchor off the coast near the port of Colon until they get called to pass through.
Golly, they've even got some alcohol being served out here at 5:45 a.m. Well, why not? Why not see the Panama Canal in style? Got the coffees out, fortified drinks, warm yourself up a bit. We might be in the tropics, but it's still a bit cool and a bit breezy at this time of day. You're still going to be hungry at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And you know you're getting nearer the entrance and the first lock when you spot the Atlantic Bridge. And passing underneath it is a symbolic transition from open sea into the canal's complex system of locks and lakes.
Beautiful morning to go through the Panama Canal. We're all perched up top because we're about to go under the bridge.
And there's not a huge amount of clearance to get under. It's quite the sight as you sail past. You can almost touch the bridge with the tip of your fingers. We've been through the canal 5 times now, but it's still no less fascinating. The canal took nearly 40 years to complete. Construction began in the 1880s and hit a lot of problems along the way and was finally completed in 1914. And the nearer we get to the first locks at Gatun, the more the excitement builds up, and you have to pick your vantage point. We were there with a variety of cameras, including our 360-degree on top of a long pole. And everyone runs from side to side, back to front, to get the absolute best view, and of course to take a selfie. Cameras clicking away. And it is very expensive to use the Panama Canal. Every ship that passes through pays a toll based on its size, type and volume. And in case you're wondering, for a ship of this size, the Rotterdam, it typically costs the cruise line up to $500,000. That's per ship. So when a cruise company adds the Panama Canal to the itinerary, they hope it's going to sell out to recoup that payment. And out of interest, the smallest ever recorded toll paid was by an American, Richard Halliburton, back in 1928, who paid 36 cents to swim the canal. And here we are entering the first lock of the day. For some passengers, this cruise has been years in the making, and not that many ships go to the Panama Canal anymore, and people do save up for it. So please select a ship that has a lot of outside decks so you can get that perfect vantage point. Trust me, there's a lot of modern cruise ships that don't have viewing positions, so do choose carefully. Perhaps the older or traditional style are best for this. And all credit to Holland America for continuing to build ships that still have sufficient space outdoors. And as it was a partial transit, we were able to film the Rotterdam coming and going that day, both from on the ship and off, to show you what it looks like. These new locks will now take most cruise ships, but the largest available in the world, such as the Icon of the Seas, can only do a partial transit as they're too big to go down the entire length. So be aware of that if you book it. Here at Gatun, there are 3 sets of locks. You have to go up and down each one in series. We had a fabulous few hours watching all the action from the Panama Canal unfold in front of us. For me, the aft right at the stern gives you a great observation point, as you're at the closest position to all the action, and very few people seem to come here. See, there's just a handful here. And if you notice underneath me, right at the bottom, there's the main dining room. So after you've been outside, top tip, go to the main dining room and have breakfast there, so you can continue watching all the action whilst you have a little nibble.
And what better place to have breakfast when you're transiting the Panama Canal than in the main dining room? Watch them manning the ropes. View right outside. Isn't that a perfect view for breakfast out there?
Uninterrupted view.
It is.
The action.
It is. Those movies, room with a view? Well, how about restaurant with a view from a cruise ship? And since we're on the Panama Canal, we need to have a Panama roll, which comes out specifically for today. Just for today. What's in a Panama roll?
There's a vanilla custard inside.
Vanilla custard inside. Oh. Oh, your resolve nearly broke there for just a second.
As we are in the Panama Canal, it calls for a Panama roll.
Shall I open it up with the custard inside? Look there. Oh, look at that. It's a bit like a pasta nata, but a variation of it, a Panamanian version of it. There, look, see? Well, I don't know about you, but I would have thought going through the Panama Canal calls for an Eggs Benedict with some Canadian bacon. Just seems the right thing to do when you're going through the canal. Ooh, golly, that's rare. She's gone for Eggs Benedict. I almost dropped the camera in surprise. There you go. Doesn't that look nice?
You got?
Well, it's Eggs Benedict with Dungeness crab. Did you not order that one? You feeling like you missed out? Why, you should have gone for crab. Just elevates the whole proceedings. It's going to be delicious. Very calm, very soothing, very elegant. Jazz music playing in the background. Eggs Benedict on the table. Panama Canal outside. What's not to love?
By the time we'd finished breakfast, we were emerging from the final lock into the Gatun Lakes. And what a fantastic view. This lake isn't naturally here. The engineers had to create it by damming the Chagres River. In doing so, they created the largest man-made lake in the world. So why did they do this? Well, to get round the elevation changes, allowing ships to navigate between the Caribbean and the Pacific. Now, if you're interested in the Panama Canal, the history of it, how they built it, I will be bringing out a separate video all about that, because it's a fascinating backstory. It took a huge amount of ingenuity, and there was a toll on human life. Because we have been in the canal a few times over the years, and I'll also show you some of our videos from the archives when we came 10 years ago and also 20 years ago. So it'll be a lot of fun looking back in time. That video will be coming out in a couple of months, so remember to be subscribed to the Ritzy Travel Guide so you know when it comes out. Subscription is free, it just alerts you to when new material becomes available. Now back to the canal, and for us, it was one final chance for a selfie and a day tour. Because for visitors in the area, there are several itineraries available. Let's show you what we took that day. Here we are, trundling off for our tour around the Gatun lakes.
Well, we're going on a jungle cruise now. Not like you see at Disneyland, but a real one in the Panamanian rainforest. There we go. How atmospheric and scenic does this look? I feel like we're on the set of Jungle Queen or some Hollywood movie. They're about to say alligator to the left or hippo to the right.
It is a protected area, so it's very calm. It's a nice, peaceful escape into nature. And we managed to get very close up to the sloths. These were the 3-toe varieties. Now, normally sloths are the slowest thing ever, so these ones were positively buzzing. Very unusual to see this level of activity, and Panama's lush rainforests provide that perfect canopy for them to survive. And it was great to see them. Do try and cruise the Panama Canal. It's absolutely fascinating. But here's my top tip. If you get a chance, do go for the full transit, which takes you the entire length and out to the other side. You can do it in either direction. That way you get the full experience. Yes, you can do a partial, but it's not quite the same. You're only there for a little bit, you go in and you come back out again. So if you can spring it, do try to go for the full passage. Now, one other thing, if you go on smaller ships, you can go through the old locks. These are the original ones. Right, who's up for a party? Once on every cruise, Holland America puts on the Orange Night. It's their big bash, and it's their version of the White Night.
Well, anybody like to guess what themed evening it is tonight on Holland America? Yes, it's Orange Night. Not many cruise ships have an Orange Night, but they do here on Holland America. So, have we gone orange enough? Are we going with the flow? Are we winning? Wow, look, BB King has gone all orange. Oh, look at that. It's orange from left to right. I just have to get that orange hat. That's amazing. Look at you. Pikachu. Beautiful evening to be heading towards the dining room with a glass of sparkling in hand, expecting a lovely dinner. Orange pocket square, orange tie. They normally excel themselves on dressy night. We're expecting a rather good meal.
Can you see anything through those glasses?
Not very much, but we're sticking with the theme. Everything, everywhere, has gone orange. It's a blast of tangerine everywhere. Evening.
I have to say you look very dapper with the orange glasses.
Yes.
You walked in and the maitre d' said, whoa.
Whoa, the maitre d' did a recoil. Oh, I hear singing going on. Ah, you see now, marks out of 10. Fantastic. Well done, ladies.
Order. That guy over there
Which guy? Where? Over there. Okay, surreptitiously looking.
wins the award for best dress because anybody who can find an orange jacket has made an effort.
Yes, where does one get an orange jacket? Now, on the orange menu, there's a very unusual items here. Like, for instance, I have never, ever heard of hodgepodge clapstock. Heard of hodgepodge clapstock?
Is it like a stew with everything in it?
It is. It's exactly that. It's a hodgepodge. It's whatever they had left over, I'm reckoning.
And a clapstock.
Here comes the crapstock.
Certainly.
I mean, clapstock. Did I pronounce that right? Don't know. Dutch word.
That looks really nice.
I have to say, this clapstock is really very good. It's got such a rich, deep, intense gravy. I don't know how long they've been cooking this beef for, but it's fantastic. And that potato is sinful. They mentioned it had butter in it. I can tell you it absolutely does. I think there's a whole milk churn of butter gone into that one. It's fantastic. Ah, we have a tulip. Look at that beautiful tulip.
Yummy.
Yum yum, indeed. Quite right, yum yum. Yum yum, we've been advised.
I like the fact that they have given
the liberty, or they're quite casual in the way they interact with the staff. There's a yum, or they'll say, "Hey ladies, can I get you a drink?" You know, they are quite flirtatious, quite casual in the way they talk to the guests. It's really lovely.
Yum, yum.
And with that, it was off to the party, and the ship's entertainment staff were already grinding their way on the floor. Leading the way. I have to say that Holland America senior officers are very visible. So many other cruise lines, you barely see the captain, or the chief engineer, or the senior team. They often hide away. Not so here on Holland America, and it's very refreshing to see. It's far more similar to the heyday of cruising, where ship's staff mingled. And the party carried on into the evening, and the late snacks came out. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it lets us know we're on the right track, and we'll try to put out more of this type of material. Our final port of call of this cruise was in the Caribbean, the Grand Caymans. Let's take a look. Right, about to take you ashore to the Cayman Islands, but before we do, just a little bit of a word about it. Firstly, it is pretty safe in comparison to other Caribbean stops. Cruise ships are really cutting back on visiting places like Jamaica, which has high crime numbers. And Grand Cayman is a tender port. There is no dock, so you have to motor in. This trip, we decided to do a little bit of shopping, so we can show you what downtown is like, followed by the beaches. And Georgetown is on a pretty bay, and it's quite small, very easy to walk around. 1 hour or two, and you can catch it all. There's souvenir shops, as well as a small historic quarter and some bars. You can also stock up on your rum cake. In a moment, I'll show you what tours are available, but that day we headed off to the beaches. We took local bus transport, which is easy and cost-effective.
And we're off to 7 Mile Beach. Very straightforward, $6 per person per direction, so $12 round trip.
And 15 minutes later, you're at the main public beach, which is called 7 Mile Beach. Now, there's some good and bad to tell you about this, so you can decide if it's for you or not. Firstly, the beach is nice. It's got powdery sand and the water is clear. But being a public beach, it can and does get crowded. And if you want a beach lounge or recliner, you're going to have to pay for it. Anywhere from $20 to $50 for the day, depending what stretch of the beach you're on. There's also not that many food or drinks vendors, but there is a lot of water sports for hire, a big selection. In general, you can have a good day at 7 Mile Beach. Would we go? Yes. But set your expectations at the right level. We sat there for about 4 hours, had a drink, and watched the world go by. But we do think there are better options for the Cayman Islands, and a few months earlier, we headed out to the boats, to an area called Stingray City. It's a series of sandbars with crystal blue clear waters.
Wow, look at them go by. They're all here, it's down here.
And the stingrays were just there.
Can you see they're right there?
You're right in the middle of nowhere, and it's very nice shadow.
We're on like a sandbank right out to sea. It took 25 minutes to get here. Right in the middle of the sea, middle of nowhere. Stingray everywhere.
Time for a cuddle with them.
Okay, ready to touch a stingray.
We were then handed squid to feed them. It took a bit of time to find the mouth, and then whoosh, the squid was gone. The sensation was a little bit like a vacuum cleaner. If you get a chance to book a similar tour, I absolutely would. It's an easy journey from the ship, and it's a memory you will cherish. It is a great day out. It's easy to get there, and it's fairly stress-free. I've put a link up here for the tour we took, and down in the description. Pretty much an identical itinerary that the cruise ships take, but for about half the cost. That evening, it was back to the ship, and in time for Carnival Night. It's when the crew and passengers let their hair down together. It started off with a walk through the ship for the crew, and then we moved on to old-fashioned games around the pool.
Oh, I hear a carnival going out on deck. And tonight is carnival night at the Lido Pool area. We get all sorts of games going on, just like you would at a fun fair years and years ago.
And you know what? The carnival really encapsulates the experience of what it's like cruising with Holland America. The genuine warmth. They would often spontaneously break out into song and dance. It could be in the buffet, it could be by the pool.
Do you sing every night?
Yes.
Oh, I see. There was no reason for it, you just felt happy and felt like singing.
And I have to say, the crew aboard the ship that's sailing were amongst the happiest and smiliest that we've seen for many a year. With genuine warmth. And our cabin staff still produce towel art. I know it's a little bit silly, it's a little bit old school, but some traditions are still nice to see.
And tonight's towel art, we have an elephant. And look what's on his trunk. A little chocolate, an after-dinner chocolate. A lovely way to end the evening.
To be frank, there was actually 2 chocolates, but I ate it so quickly, he didn't have time to film it, so we left with just 1. Hakuna Matata.
And you know what? That festival really encapsulates what it's like to be on a cruise with Holland America. In a way, it's a little bit like how cruising used to be back in the day. Now, so many ships are all about roller coasters. If you want a ship that's a little bit like how cruising used to be, Holland America comes quite close. Would we recommend Holland America and the 3 Pinnacle class of ships? Yes, we absolutely would. Do go back and watch the earlier 2 videos that we put out a couple of weeks ago, as it goes through the ship in detail and covers the pros and cons. Now, before I forget, let me just let you know what's in the pipeline, what's coming up on our channel over the next coming months. We'll be putting out a video directly comparing Holland America with Cunard. Why? Well, because in a number of ways they are competing for the same market. Both are in that premium cruising segment. And what's more, the Cunard Queen Anne is also a Pinnacle class ship, just like the Rotterdam, so the ships have the same DNA and almost identical layouts. And we were aboard both of these ships within 4 weeks of each other, so everything was fresh in our mind. And we'll give you our thought on what's different and which ship we prefer. I think it's going to be very revealing. And whilst you're waiting for that, we already have out on our channel 3 videos on the Queen Anne. Here's the link, and you can watch those now. They're available straight away. And last year, we were also on the Celebrity Ascent. That's their flagship, also vying for the crown of Best Premium Cruise Ship. And we put out 2 videos on that experience, and the links are here, so you can click on those. Thank you so much for joining us in this 3-part series on Holland America. I hope it's given you a good heads up, given you a good indication of what you can expect. While waiting for those, you can watch some videos here, and you can also watch some videos here. And while you're at it, you can hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in these now.